We thank God for the Easter season we're living. We should enjoy it. It's 50 days. 50 days to meditate, to think about the risen Lord, that He's truly alive and that He wants to meet us and encounter us. He wants us to encounter Him. There's a book called The Imitation of Christ. It's one of the most powerful books ever written. So many saints have referred to it as being an instrument in their lives. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about that the most important thing about our faith, about meeting Jesus, is that we imitate Him, that we become like Him. In fact, when we get to heaven, the gate at heaven, the Father's going to look at us and He's going to let us in if He sees even a slight trace of Jesus in us. If He doesn't see a trace of Jesus in us, if we don't look like Jesus at all, we won't go in. That's the whole purpose of our Catholic Christian faith, is to be more and more like Jesus. And I want to talk about these several points that I think are important. The first thing, that one of the beautiful qualities of Jesus is that He's compassionate. He really is totally sensitive to everything that we go through. And we should be like that too. We should be sensitive to others. Sometimes we can be calloused instead of sensitive to people. And if we really want to follow Jesus, we have to be like Him. We have to become compassionate. We have to become servants of the risen Lord. And what does that mean? That one of the favorite questions that we should always ask people is, what can I do for you? That's what everybody should be doing. Instead of thinking of gossiping, of getting involved in things that you shouldn't, we should say, what can I do to help? If we want to be like the Lord, we have to be loving, that we really care for others. Jesus, the greatest sign of His love is when you look at Him on the cross. He's on the cross dying, and He still is loving us from the cross. When He was suffering, He was loving us. Forgiving also from the cross. He was forgiving those who put Him through that horrible passion, forgiving us. We have to be forgiving people. We have to be really committed to our faith in Jesus. It's not just about reading and praying. A lot of people do. I know a lot of people that pray and talk about so many things about the faith, but where's the practice? There's no practice. We have to be committed. Jesus was committed to His mission. He wanted to do the will of the Father, even if it meant going to Jerusalem, and He would have to suffer and die for all of us. We need to be prayerful like Him, who likes to spend time alone. We need to look for moments of silence, of being alone. Even Jesus, when He was in Gethsemane, that He was probably suffering the most because He was suffering internally. He was praying for us then, when He was really going through the most difficult time. We need to be like Him, who is gentle, who is very gentle and tender with sinners. So many times you see Him in the Gospels, how gentle He is. Remember when He met the woman that they wanted to stone? Everybody was so vicious with her, and He was so gentle with her. That's why when we experience God, when we really truly have an experience of God, most everyone is brought to tears, because the gentleness of Jesus touches us profoundly. Patient. He's so patient. Jesus is always waiting for us, and He'll be waiting for us throughout our life. Until the last moment of our life, He'll be waiting for us so that we can give ourselves to Him. And that's where we get our patience, from Him. Jesus had so much self-control. He was able to empty Himself, get rid of Himself, and He actually became a slave. Even though He was divine, He became a slave for all of us. Humility, which is something we need to follow so closely in Him. Humility means being a friend of the truth, being truthful, not living a lie, not living something that's not real, but being honest and truthful. Jesus is our role model. As we meditate on the risen Lord, how He appears to people and how He can appear to us in so many ways, let's remember that the most important thing about our faith is that we imitate Him, that we become like Him.